Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay, Khan, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. Alright, so call on La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Waha, Rakha. Alright, double honors to the hopefully like elder apostles, slave to be saved. Lord will install those at the great millstone church on down to the rest that may be out here abiding under the same doctrine. Okay, and to the brothers teaching the truth, teaching this truth from the elder brothers on down to the younger brothers, in all true faith and sincerity, to the men here at my congregation, Shalom, and to ultimately the rest of you believers, you men, women, and children of the Israelite race, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians scattered abroad, Afro people scattered abroad, Shalom, ultimately to the elect, those that will go on to be found to have another house of David. So yeah, of course Satan gonna play, so bear with me. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna be going into this class / understanding. We're gonna be dealing with Revelation the 14th chapter. We're gonna go into Revelation the 14th chapter. This is gonna be quick. Pretty much is a makeup. There's a lot going on, but as I always say about the spirit, the work, I'm always gonna find a way. The work is to always be found to get there's always a way to get the work done. It's always gonna be. I'm always gonna find a way to get the work done. Okay, but we're here nonetheless. Was planning it to do it Monday tomorrow, but the spirit basically supped and pretty much presented this Revelation the 14th chapter, because it would have been if we would have did it last night, it would have been short notice and not short notice. Well, really it would have, because it would have been super late, but more so it probably would have been just some pretty much crap, like forcing it, and not really truly having something. So I don't want to do that. I want to put forth. I myself personally want to put forth something that's actually been meditated upon. Something real. So the spirit can really be in it, can really be here. But and that's what pretty much happened. I was just waiting for something to come. But basically that's what happened. Was talking to my old man or whatever. And basically, and it didn't hit me. This was well before this hit me. But when this hit me, like Revelation, the 4th chapter, it was in continuity with what was going on. And that was processing the conversation, had with him. And pretty much, I was telling him, like, yo, don't get that, that thing. And he thought it was talking about the juice, but I wasn't talking about the juice. I was talking about the thing, the mark. And he's like, so pretty much upon that, it hit me like, you know what, that's real, because basically Revelation the 14th chapter hit me. But then I was like, yeah, I ain't really been meditating, but I will only go through with it. We will only go through with it, which is how these classes come together, either it's something that it's really been meditating on, like the spirit's really there, or maybe a brother mentioned, a request or something like that, or, share whatever, right? But when the spirit, presented Revelation the 14th chapter, the substance was there, in order to go forth with it, which was the conversation I had with him. So that's why we're going to be going into this. This is Revelation the 14th chapter for this class / the understanding. Okay, so this is going to be brief, quick, because we have an assembly after this, so we got to get to that. But yeah, let's kick it off with that. Revelation, the 14th chapter, and the first verse.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
Yeah, okay, so that lamb is dealing with Yahweh Shai. That lamb is dealing with Yahweh Shai, and this 144,000 is pretty much 12. It's going to go on and say is the men, the governing body. You know, the elect is the elect. That's the 144,000. It's the elect. When you go into that word elect, kolektos in the Greek, and it means the finest of its kind. Okay, so these are a portion of the Israelites that will be saved, but that will be, how can I say this, appointed to govern. You know, they will be appointed to govern the nation. They will be appointed to be the governors of the nation. You know, the remnant that's left, and the 2/3 that were written, that are written to come back. Okay, and we know that this is Yahweh. So this is them gathered together with him, Yahweh Shai. You know, which is when that 144,000 will be revealed. For instance, let's get 1 John 1:27. You can start at 29.
Yeah, so 1 John chapter 1 and verse 24. So like it?
1:29.
In 1 John?
No, John. Salaki.
Oh, Salaki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I said 1 John, Salaki. John 1:29.
2 John chapter 1 and verse 29. The next day, John seeth Yahweh Shai coming unto him and said, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world.
There it is. Behold, the Lamb of God. So it's that simple. All right. So that's that lamb right there. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump back to Revelation 1 and Salaki, not Revelation 1.
14.
Yeah, Revelation 14. Okay. And that mountain that they're standing on, you can read it.
Yep. Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
Salaki about this. Satan gonna play. Okay, so yeah, so that Mount Sinai is going into what? It's going into the government that's going to be set up, you know, through Yahweh Shai. Let's get Isaiah 9 real quick.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 9,
verse 6.
In verse 6, it says, "For unto us a child is born."
Yeah. Who is that child? Give me Matthew 1:21.
Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai.
All right, jump back to Isaiah 9 and 6. We should have finished that for the rest.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given.
See, now jump. Now you can jump there. You got it.
Yeah, come. Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai.
See, there it is. Go ahead.
For he shall save his people from their sins.
There it is. So that's why when you read Isaiah 9 and 6, it says this. Go ahead.
For unto us a child is born.
Come on.
Unto us a son is given.
Yeah, unto us a son is given. You know, and it was confirmed when Mary had, who people know as Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And the what?
And the government.
Go ahead.
Shall be upon his shoulder.
Go ahead. So that's the government. That's the government. He will be responsible for bringing the government, right, the conduct, the way, the ordering of the world to come, which is the world of Jacob, which is the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Indian, world, man. Rural world, which will go for all eternity, Our true way as Hebrew Israelites upon returning will be the way of life for all inhabitants on the face of the earth, and the animals would even be under this order, For instance, if you had animals, right, well, we have something known as a Shabbat, and the animals are subjected to it, our animals. But since our way is gonna be our government, right? That's our government. But since our government is gonna be ushered out by us to the rest of the inhabitants of the earth, once Yahweh shall come, the Lamb and the elected saved, and the portion of the elect, which is the 144,000, is appointed, right, to that mount, that government that Yahweh shall will bring the Lamb. That's when we're gonna usher it out. For instance, you can go ahead and finish this, and we'll get Isaiah 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, It says, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God.
See that? Counselor. See? He's going to be a counselor. We're going to be we're the counselors. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mighty God.
Yeah.
The Everlasting Father.
Yeah.
The Prince of Peace.
There it is. Now let's jump to Isaiah 2. Okay. Isaiah 2 and start at 1.
All right. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Yeah, because Jerusalem is a people for a place. But since Judah will be saved first, which is so-called Negroes. Go ahead. Verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain...
It's Slakia, the southern kingdom in its entirety, including you so-called West Indians. All right, that's Judah. All right, but go ahead.
Yeah. Isaiah 2 and 2, and it shall come to pass
in Jerusalem,
in the last days.
And for the instance, in Jerusalem will be the rest of the Israelites. All right. How do we know that? Because this is this is about to go on to talk about future prophecy. Go ahead. And the rest of the Israelites is the so-called Native, Latino, and Native Indian people. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 2 of Isaiah chapter 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days.
So that's how we know. See, in the last days, come on.
That the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
There it is. See? A mountain is a government. Okay? It's an infrastructure. It's a powerful structure one can't break. People actually live off the mountain. Okay? You can actually read about that in, Isaiah 50, 51 and, not Isaiah, Jeremiah 51 and 25. We won't get it, but pretty much it goes into that. Now, this is how we know this is concerning not only the southern kingdom being the so-called Negroes, West Indians, but also for with Judah, Shalom, but also what the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians for Jerusalem. Why? Because it says this is concerning, right, the time to come, the latter days. Well, in the latter days, it said that the Lord will make the southern kingdom and northern kingdom one stick. You see? Upon who? Upon Yahweh Shai. It goes on to say he's gonna, we're gonna, have one shepherd, the good shepherd. Which is what's that? Ezekiel 31st chapter, I believe that is. Or the 33rd. I don't want to misquote that. But yeah, this is how we know. Go ahead.
Yeah, keep on reading.
Yeah, cause we ain't gotta get the. I'll get it. Just cause we here. I'm trying to make this quick, but for it to be thorough, you'll understand what's taking place in Isaiah the 14th chapter. This ain't gonna be an in-depth breakdown, so I'll just throw that on record. Okay, this is Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, which destroyed all the earth. Mountains don't do that, you know, but infrastructures do, you know. But anyway, reading on, it says what? And that infrastructure is the so-called white man. This mountain is talking about the so-called white man's way of life, his government, okay? Which you can read about in Ezekiel, the 34th chapter. I want to say that is. Okay, Ezekiel 34 and 1, because it goes on to say, yeah, it's like Ezekiel 35 and 1 on down. You know, when you get to 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. At this point, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, Mount Seir, right? And I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And this is talking about Edom, you know, the so-called white people. See? And then when you go on to read this, in verse 15, really when you go on to read this, it talks about the mountains of Israel the mountain of Israel that's going to be set up, right? But anyway, when you read verse 15 and prove this talking about Esau, it says, As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Why? Because that's how you're going to get this mountain that the lamb and that 144,000 will be standing upon, you know, and set up. See, it says, So will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right? So when you jump back to Jeremiah 51 and 25, Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain, which is what Yahushua is going to be responsible for doing, according to, what's that, Luke the 12th chapter and the 49th verse, 48 through 49th verse. You know, he's coming to set fire on the earth. But when you read on, it says, And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, you see, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So showing us what mountains are used for. They're used to, you know, collect, you know, get the rocks from it, get the support that it has to offer. So that's a government. That's what the government does. Okay, in all forms. You get buildings and skyscrapers. If you see on the on the video right here, the image right here, you get skyscrapers set up, you know, across these cities of the so-called white man, which is it's the testimony that his mountain has been set up, right? These are basically big rocks, you know. These are people. These act as like as supports for people, because some of these might be banks, some of these might be, you know, the famous water tower, if you will. Those that know about Chicago, you know, people work at the water tower, you know. But upon that water tower being set up, these buildings, these skyscrapers of business being set up where people are employed, right? They have to be permitted by the government. You see, they have to be organized, you know, for control to usher out support, you know, or how he wants the world to be supported, all the inhabitants to be supported by what though? Through what? His government. So when you read Isaiah 2, go ahead. You know what the mountains is for now. You got it.
Yeah.
Isaiah 2 and 1. 2 and 1. You can take from, 2 and 1. You can take from top. Slack it.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Yeah, so you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you have a government in your favor that's going to be of your people, that's going to be set up to govern, to support the whole earth, to support the inhabitants. You know, the Lord said He's going to do what?
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established.
The mountain of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because his name not the Lord. His name is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And we know this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai at this point because it says in the latter days. And the one responsible for bringing this is Yahweh Shai. This is why when you read Isaiah the 9th chapter, it tells you what? It tells you that a son, unto us a child is given. We need to identify that child. Well, unto us a son is given. That's his gender. Okay, he's a male. Okay, what's his name? And she shall bring forth a son. Who? Mary, of the tribe of Judah. And she shall call his name Yahweh Shai. Why? Because he shall save his people. Also, giving a name is like an identification code, if you will. You know, especially when it's one of meaning. But it will be used for us to know, you know, wholeheartedly that this is the son that was born unto us to bring in that government. You know, that mountain, right? That mountain that's going to be above all the other mountains, you know, which is going to be basically a power structure, right, of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians being set up, you know, and ushered out to all the other races of the earth to get under or die. For instance, it tells you that in Isaiah the 60th chapter, for the nation that will not serve us shall utterly perish. You see? So go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
and that's paraphrasing, roughly. Go ahead.
Isaiah 2:2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
So that's why you have to say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because this is why that name was given. See that? Come on. And that's why the Lord also said, what was that? In Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, and the last verse, and all the earth all the people gonna know that Yahweh will do this. How? Because his men will have told you. Oh, his son will have came and confirmed it. I'm Yahweh Shai. You know? Son of Yahweh. Bun Yahweh Da. Go ahead. Come on.
It says, house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
See, his house is gonna be established, you know, on the top of the mountains. Go ahead. And who's his house? Us. Because the third temple physically ain't getting set up, man. We're the temple. We're going to be set up. That's why the Lord says in Isaiah, what was that, Psalms the 50th chapter, How I will set them in order before thine eyes. Who was he saying that to? Esau, the so-called white man. So the Lord going to set us up, man. All right, go ahead. Because it's just the first verse. If we keep going, it'll be an in-depth breakdown. So I'm gonna quote scriptures. We're gonna quote scriptures. We might get a couple, but we're just gonna run this through because we got an assembly after this. Go ahead.
And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it.
See, point proven. So there it is. Go ahead. And what is it? What is these people? They're gonna flow into this mountain that son was said to have upon his shoulders. That in the end of the book, it said that this lamb, which was code word for Yahweh Shai, that son, right, will finally be standing upon, meaning it's set up now. You know, it's established. It's solid now. You can't stand on something not solid. That's why he said in Matthew the 7th chapter, or was that the 11th chapter, where he said what? Hold on, What the hell is that noise? Salaki. No, that's fine. Feel like I hear somebody talking. But anyway, what was I just saying? But that's why he was saying in Matthew the 7th chapter or the 11th chapter, what? Oh, you know what it is? Salaki. Let me see. Okay. Now, in Matthew I don't want to misquote it, so let me get it. I'm not gonna read it, but I'm gonna just make sure that's the one I'm talking about. But pretty much how he said what, I would liken that man, the 11th chapter. I would liken that man unto a wise man who built his house upon a rock. See that? If you can hold Daniel the 2nd chapter too, brother. Matter of fact, it ain't. No, it is 7. Yeah. Yeah, it is 7. But pretty much, my point of using that is to show you what they standing on that rock to show you, or which is a big rock, which we're gonna prove, because it's been set up, it's established. It represents solidness. Solid means established, denotes establishment. What's an establishment? A government, a council. You see? So, yeah, that's basically the point, man. Cause I said it's a deep breakdown. Go ahead. It's a beautiful breakdown. You got it.
Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain.
To the what?
Of the Lord. Let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yeah. And we know mount is short for mountain, because the Lord said he's against thee, O destroying mountain. Well, we read in Ezekiel the 35th chapter how he said, Son of man, prophesy against Mount Seir and say, I am against thee. See? So mount is short for mountain. So when you read this in Revelation, the Lord don't want everybody to get it like that. You think he's talking about something else, but he's not. It's the same mountain being talked about right here. So they're standing on it for all to come before. The Lamb and 144,000. Hence, Matthew, the 24th chapter, in the first verse, it says, and Yahushua, matter of fact, I'm going to get Matthew, the 5th chapter. It says, in the first verse, and seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, see, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So this was a foreshadow of what we're going to be doing in the future. We're going to be setting everything up and putting people in order. Yo, you Aisha, okay? You a damn heathen. This Yasha Allah. We're going to put everything in order. We're going to be speaking Hebrew, all of that. And these people going to learn that, man. You want to make money, you want to survive, and this time you got to learn English. Well, in that time, you want to survive, you want to make money, you got to learn Hebrew, man. You got to learn Abaria, man. And we're going to put their ass in order. So this is what this is going into. So once again, when you read this in Revelation, the 14th chapter, it's talking about the same mountains talked about right here in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, and so forth, right? And what is it? What that is going into is the very things we're reading right now, which is a foreshadow of it was what? Matthew, the 5th chapter. Because, hey, I can say something really, but I don't want to, say too much, But go ahead, brother. Go ahead. We're going to finish that. Yep.
Isaiah 2 and 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and will walk in his paths. See? And we will walk in his paths.
Ain't that what was recorded and what's known as what's known as Matthew the 5th chapter? Isn't it the same exact thing? He went up to the mountain, and when he was set, he taught them. See? But when he does this again upon his return, he's going to do it with the 144,000. Okay? And we're going to teach these people. And if they don't get taught, we're going to beat the shit out of them. We're going to beat the fuck out you damn Edomites, man. We're going to put you people in order, man. We're gonna fill into your ass double, man. All right, and this is upon America being fucking destroyed, man. Burnt. Hence the burnt mountain, man. All right, and if you ain't with it, which this chapter is gonna show you, that Matthew, this class, right? Revelation the 4th chapter, the 14th chapter, your ass gonna be burnt, but it's gonna go into basically what you were doing before that happened to you, and ultimately why that happened to you. If you're not with this government being set up is get down and lay down, man. Straight Jake over, like 100%, 144,000%, man. All right. Times, go ahead.
Yeah, kind. It says that we will walk in his paths, or out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Whoo! See, what is the government responsible for? Laws. Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai from Jerusalem.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's it. All right. Now, go ahead and read through 5.
Yeah, time. This verse 4 says, and he shall judge among the nations.
Come on.
And shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Yeah, so they're going to take all the contraptions they made, right, out of the earth's resources, and they're going to use them for meaningful things,
sensible things. Because war that takes place now is completely irrational. It's is ludicrous. That's why the Lord says, "Why does the heathen imagine a vain thing?" When they get together, come up plans for war, how they world domination and shit like that. Once again, this Bible is about world domination, man. Okay, how it works and how we're gonna get it. And why we don't have it, and what is it? You either a peon or you an aristocrat, It's that simple, man. You either low class scum, gum on the bottom of somebody's goddamn shoe, gelatin, or you damn slacker, or you ruling class, man. Sovereign. All right. Peasant or sovereign. Pick one, man. Hey, heathen or Yasha Allah. Period. We're above all people. To be ruling class is to be Yasha Allah. To be a peasant is to not be. This is why this sign is so heavy, man. Like Shakespeare was a Jake, to be or not to be. That's the question. Do you find yourself on this sign, man? Now, it's other so-called races, not races, but nationalities, if you will, misnomers, because that's really all these ones are on the right-hand side. They are a bunch of misnomers, which is simply, basically, how can I explain it? Some shit people got mistaken for being, like, basically Mexican. It's a misnomer because people believe that's a race. And it's not. Mexico is not even the original name of the place. So you can't even be Mexican. You know what I'm saying? That's a complete misnomer. No one can be black. That's impossible. But point being, to be or not to be, man. Now, like I said, there's other people that's on this side that's not necessarily listed on here too. For instance, you got Negroes, but let's say Nigerians don't identify with being Negro. But most of the Nigerians are in fact, Judites, of the Southern Kingdom. So you got instances like that. But the point is to be or not to be Yasha Allah. That's what's important. Because if you're not, your ass is about to be put under this government, man. You're going to be at the bottom of the government, man. You know? But it's going to be the best way of life for you possible. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4 continues. It says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Yeah, and if you don't like the message, get the fuck out of here, man. We're going to keep cussing you people the fuck out until we get that power, man. It ain't nothing else to talk about, man. You talk nice. We talk, you know, in season. We talking about powering people down right now. How the hell you want to hear it, man? If you want to hear TD Jakes, take your ass there, man. And let him lie to you so you can eat a fucking missile. So you could actually live out the people that we about to read about in Revelation in the continuance of Revelation the 14th chapter. Go ahead, bro. Because people don't appreciate this, man. That's why Lord gonna fucking kill you people, man. Go ahead, brother.
It says, neither shall they learn war anymore.
See, that's the spirit. Go ahead. Yeah, you can't make it up. Go ahead.
O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
It's just that simple. So this is why we want to care about who we are. You know, and this is why beautiful, you know, highways we had, you know, yesterday, our camp, our congregation, you know, going into what manner of persons ought you to be. We're getting ready for rulership, man. Whether you ready for it fucking or not, man. It's coming either way, man. Hey, Yahweh Shah coming ready if you ready or not, man. He about to stake his claim and rulership, man. He made all of this. So-called white man ain't make nothing, man. He can't even tell you how old the earth is. Get the hell out of here, man. He can't even tell you who you are, but he ruling. We can tell everybody who they are, but we not ruling. Many kings have sat down on the ground, man. The government's supposed to hold the identities of everybody, but they ain't telling nobody who they are. So our Lord is against this mountain, man. Go ahead and jump back to Revelation 14. So Lord willing, you got something out of that. You know, we're just going to run through this, Lord willing. I don't want to rot the Zah. You got it.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And
one more point, we had Daniel the 2nd chapter. Jump there. 2 and 30. Now this is able to be because this is upon Daniel 2 and 30 being set up, being played out, which goes into what? Go ahead, brother.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 30. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me or any wisdom that I have more than any living. But for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent.
Was excellent. Look, past tense. Was excellent. Because remember Daniel in the future. The shit already over with. Upon a vision he done happen. You know? He done had. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Whoo! So you gotta read it like that, man. That's exactly it. That make you get it. We might have to start our issue. What was it? It'll be issue 58 for those that keep up with the assembly we hold. You know, going into that series, but we might have to kick that off with this.
Yeah. All right.
You know, go ahead.
Yeah, correct. And it says, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass.
Had it going on. Go ahead.
His legs of iron.
Yeah. Now this is going into the, pretty much the compilations of all the heathens collectively that basically ruled over time. Throughout time. Some compare it to this, that, the third. We ain't gonna get into all that. We'll be here all night. Go ahead.
Yeah, It says, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron, and part of clay.
Yeah. Come on.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands.
That's it, how it shine. Come on.
Which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them in pieces. Once
this statue was at its end, that's when this stone came and it broke the whole stone up. He took out the toes, you know, and that stone is Yahweh Shai. What am I thinking of? Psalms 118, and also you can read this in 2 Peter. Okay, this is Psalms 118 to prove this is still talking about Yahweh Shai. And 22, the stone, you see, which the builders refuse is become the head stone of the corner. You see? And that's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. You know, like I said, you jump to, what's that? 2 Peter 2. Let me jump there really quick. 2 Peter 2. And, oh man, I'm gonna start at 3. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord Yahweh Shai is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, because he was dead, right? Disallowed indeed of men, you know, and then but chosen of Yahweh, you know, and precious. And he's a living stone now because the Lord quickened him. He brought him back to life. And now he's not just a regular stone. He said, I will not meet thee as a man, because even in his previous state, he was still a stone. We're stones right now. We're stones. They go on to say, ye also as lively stones. But we're lively stones also because, wow, we have his spirit. It says, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, they were a house to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Wherefore, also as it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. All right. It says, unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. We talking about Yahweh Shai, right? But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is the head of the corner. You see? It's that simple. So that stone is talking about Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, kind of. Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 34. It says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands.
Yeah.
Which smote the image upon his feet.
Yep.
That were of iron and clay.
Yep.
And break them to pieces.
Yeah, your feet like your foundation, you know, and it really is really used right there to represent direction, you know, or pretty much governing. You know, your feet represents government, you know. Like whose feet be quick to run to mischief, and government represents conduct. You see, so people's conduct is seen based off, you know, their feet. You know, if you constantly in the hood, you know, constantly going to the damn corner store to pick up a damn Swisher, you a damn peon nigga, man. You know, you a damn peasant. You constantly running, you know, you constantly approaching to, you know, Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. You know, that's all, the point being, all that's your conduct, you know, and feet is used to what? Simple, I show you that. You know, that's why the scriptures say, keep thy foot, you know, meaning conduct, you know, government, you know. For instance, when you go to Sirach, really quick, Sirach in the 23rd chapter, right, it represents, you know, governing, you know, which is played out by your feet, but it starts in your mind, obviously in the mind. But for instance, Sirach 23:1, O Lord Yahweh, Father and governor of all my whole life. Leave me not to their counsels, and let me not fall by them. You see, who will set scourges over my thoughts, and the discipline of wisdom over my heart? They that spare me not for my ignorances, and it pass not by my sins. You see, so it's that's what it's dealing with. You know, your feet represents government. You know, it's all about government. That's why the Lord said, keep your foot, man. You know, keep your conduct right. You know, but that's pretty much ordained by your mind. So this is why he was praying for this, for those that could receive it. But go ahead, brother.
Was that chapter 2 and verse 35? It says, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors.
And there go that chaff, which is peon people that's going to be burnt up by the fire Yahushua going to bring, you know, and he going to break these people in pieces because he has that rod of iron now, you know, that scepter. Come on. He gonna and these are heathens because he's going to break the heathens to pieces. Come on.
And the wind carried them away.
Yeah, dealing with the destruction, ultimately what? The nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
That no place was found for them.
Yeah. All of their high rises, all that shit gonna be out the way when Yahushua come. Meaning what? Their government is gonna be completely no more, man. You know? You have a house off this government that's set up. But if this government is taken down, right, in America, your house is in America, you don't have a place no more. That's being done. That's what's gonna happen. That's why everything you have is gonna be no more. Because the new mountain is getting ready to come, the new government. You know, which is why we're going to simultaneously go back to our actual home. You see? And they're going to build the desolate places thereof. Because that's going to be, if you will, the new, I don't want to say new America, but that's going to be the new headquarters of the earth, Israel, Yasha Allah, for real, in a way that you can't even imagine. You know, how people come and they see the great sights of America. You might see the Sears Tower. Well, you can't see the Twin Towers no more. The Empire State Building in New York, the damn San Francisco Golden Bridge. You know what I'm saying? What else is some popular bullshit? You might go to fucking Mount Everest. You might go to see the Grand Canyon. You got the monuments in Washington. You know, damn Obelix. You know, the damn White House. You got the Statue of Liberty. You know. So it's this is the headquarters of the earth where everybody comes, you know, because this the government, it's that mountain, you know. And guess what? People work for all of these places that I just mentioned. Jake as janitors. I seen pictures of Jake as janitors inside the White House cleaning up, you know. They happen to just take a picture going into that they would use for an article of some information that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But in the same picture they use, I see a Jake as a janitor, which is a picture being taken while he's being a janitor, but in the White House. You see, the Statue of Liberty. People have to run that. Jake, we work all these places. You know, who work on the repairs of the Golden Bridge? Who work in the Sears Tower? Who work at the Beam downtown in Chicago? You know, who work for the Empire? Who, you know? So this is that fucking mountain, man. All these little pieces, the people able to take other little pieces, which is a check off this piece of this mountain, which is a Statue of Liberty, and support themselves. You know? Hence, this is the headquarters of the earth. The new headquarters of the earth is about to be Israel, man. And the monuments there is going to be off the chain. It's a city paved with gold, man. 12 gates. You know, the presence of the Lord is there completely, to where the Lord said it's so much of being there, and his presence is light. He said you ain't gonna need the sun or moon anymore. But he ain't gonna get rid of it. It's just to explain what he's saying. How much he gonna be here with us. Like, it's like, man, you know? So it's powerful, man. It's power. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it says, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain.
Whoo! And that's the point. So Yahweh Shai, with a start. He started off as this little rock, this little stone, and it's gonna start off of that. This man that had a vision, this so-called black man that had a vision, you know, like Nat Turner, he had the vision on how to get us out of here and have us ruling, you know. And he will finally come and figure out, you know, how to manifest that vision, and it would expand, you know. He's gonna expand his vision, his business, and it's gonna literally become a mountain, man. To the point he gonna have his rest of his brothers, you know, working this thing out, man, for his people. And we're gonna rule forever, man. It's for his people, man. Him coming to do this, and notice it's saying he's gonna destroy this statue, but this is him apart. The statue is a part. It's the fucking government, man. He's gonna destroy this mountain. It's the same shit, man. That mountain is a part of the statue. When he destroys that, that's him saving us and setting up a place now, a way for the new mountain to be resurrected. You know? Did you finish that verse?
Yes, a little bit more.
Come on.
And it says it filled the whole earth.
Man, see? So this mountain gonna take over the whole earth, man. Yahushua, we're gonna be in the image of Yahushua, man. The sons of God coming back, man. Cause he can't become a mountain by himself. We're gonna all have that power, man. That's what he about to bring, man. For instance, so he has to clear a way in order for this to really blow up. You know, we're gonna take these fucking devils out, man. That's why this shit is happening in America. But he gonna come and, you know, ensure that this place is gone, man. With the angels, they coming deep, man. They pulling up. You know how what's that movie? Coming to America. Oh, that's spiritual. You know how remember how his dad pulled up with all the limousines and shit? That's how this gonna be. Yahushua gonna pull up with all the chariots, man. That's what they call a space invasion. But who's the, you know, aliens? Who's the strangers? Who's the foreigners from a faraway country? You know? Who is this that cometh from Edom? You know? Traveling in the greatness of his strength, man. The Lord just showed us a chariot. Chariot flew past our camp yesterday, man. You know? Our church yesterday, man. Told the brother about the spirit, we about to go home. Lord willing, we make it, man. But we going home either fucking way. You know? Okay? So he has to make a way in order to, that's why he said, that's why John was set up. He said, prepare a way, make his path straight, you know? So, the spirit is really going, I ain't trying to go deep, but you read Proverbs, the 25th chapter, say, take away the wicked from before, the king and his he's going to be established in righteousness. So he has to destroy this mountain to resurrect this other one. So let's go ahead, if you finish that, and jump back to Revelation 14. We're just going to explain everything. We're going to break it down necessarily, and we're going to close out so we can get on this next joint. You got it.
Yeah, come. Mm-hmm. Revelation 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai.
See? Mm-hmm.
And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
So these is the elect. Give me Sirach 17 and 10 real quick, Bible Shah. Let's get Sirach 17.
Yep. 17 and 10, Sirach. And the elect shall praise his holy name.
See, there it is, man. All right, let's jump back. So this is dealing with the elect, right? The finest of his kind. You got the elect, right? Overall, the remnant, but amongst the elect, which is the men, women, and children that's going to be saved of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, primarily from America, but from all the places we've been scattered across the globe too, because Cherry's going to be beaming Jacob across the globe. That's why he's going to get us that fame and praise. But nonetheless, amongst that group, because the Lord, he's going to appoint a particular portion of men to be the governors. Like if you think about the time when Zerubbabel, they and Ezra, when they had the prophet set up by King, they basically got permitted by, was it King Cyrus, to go back and build, pretty much build the, and what was the Roboball? Governor. He was the governor. Basically it was the heads, making sure everything got set back up. That's why the Lord had that happen. But see, the difference this time is what the heathens was hating and trying to stop it from happening. Which is similar to what's going on now. We trying to build, they come up, argue with us and shit like that. But when we really actually building, really the building is taking place now. Because when Yahushua come back, it's new bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily a building process no more. The building that's going to go on is going to be these damn heathens building our cities. But as far as the building we have to do, it's taking place now. It's going to be done already. Because remember, when Yahushua come back, that's when, and we get the new bodies, the law is going to be on our inward parts. And at that point, that's how you have the fulfillment of how he said, Yahweh said, the Heavenly Father, Abba said what? He said, no man shall no more teach his neighbor saying, know me. Your neighbor is your kin. That's your fellow bloodline Israelite. Why? Because Yahushua will have returned and we will have got changed into his image. We will have all gotten the new bodies, man. You see? So, and I mention that because teaching is how we build. See? So upon him coming back, our building over with. See that? They gonna be building. So it is similar. Like the Jerubbaal situation, Ezra, that's taking place right now. But I just ultimately jumped ahead, and you ain't gonna have when we actually setting our city back up. That's what I'm thinking of. Them hating. No. If they do that, niggas is getting zapped. You know what I'm saying? I got all the fireballs for you, I don't want to rock the eye. You're going to utterly perish. Okay? Lord will, man. All right? You got it, bro. So these men that have the names of the Heavenly Father written in their foreheads, those are the elect. They know the name of Yahweh. Literally. They have Yahweh and they have Yahweh Shai, correctly in their minds, in their faith, in their belief, in their grasp, because your mind is really supposed to be like a jail. You see what I'm saying? Or a fortification, I should say. A guarded. You should see your mind like men, right? The angels. You should see your mind, right? The things in it now that you in this truth is valuables, gold, that you want to protect and not let no man steal or try to, steal from you or damage. You see what I'm saying? And basically, I lost my damn train of thought, but I know I need to say this. And you want to protect that. You want to have that fortified. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody to take that from you. I forget where I was going with that. I don't know if you remember what I was saying, brother. But if not, it's by the Spirit. Somebody will be able to do something with that. I forget. Oh, that's what it was. Talking about the Lord's name. So these are the men that have. They're not gonna let and one amongst these churches is the name, as you see right here, Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai, Yasha Allah. You see what I'm saying? But the main names is Yahweh Shai. And ain't nobody gonna take it from these men because they have barred their thoughts, as it tells us to do in the book of Sirach. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I think it tell you that in Sirach, the 24th chapter, how you want to, set bars over your mouth or something like that. It's very relevant to the point right now. See if I can get that. Look, man, hey, you gotta be immersed in this, Lord showed me some beautiful things today, man. Like his power. So if it's like we gotta go into it and then get into the next one. That's how it's gonna go, man. We all about this. You know, I want to be of that number, man. You know, I want to be of that number. You know, you gotta be a lunatic for this truth, man. Like, for real. I don't give a fuck. I say I can get casted out to a desert and wake up in the middle of the sand. You know, through the mercy, you know, grace of Yahweh Shemel Shah. I'm still gonna find a way to do this, man. That's what the Lord expects. Can you do the ups and downs? You know what I'm saying? Stay in this. Retain the names Yahweh Shemel. Not let nothing take you off from that. Well, the elect, ultimately, you can, man. They will. Not saying I'm the elect, but I'm saying that we're supposed to put on there for is the elect, man. They're the ones that got it done. All right, they ain't fold. You think about all of the brothers and sisters that didn't fold amongst all the bullshit that was amongst them of our people. They wasn't going that. You had women that had kings. We had ancient women that had kings coming after them, man. Lusting at they wouldn't budge, man. Who husbands was dead and everything, man. From Judas to Esther. You know what I'm saying? Two women that had kings come after them, want them, and they kept integrity, man. You know, these the ones that had that understanding, right? This knowledge of Yahweh, right? At the time, Yahweh Shemel Shah, because all of our people knew about Yahweh Shah, because he was a prophecy. That he was the long-awaited Messiah. We always knew. Read Deuteronomy the 18th chapter. Remember that he was told to us before we even got into the land. And Esther's as well after that. And Judas. So they both knew about Yahweh Shah. You see what I'm saying? Now when he actually came, because Judas and Esther is before Yahweh Shah actually came to earth. You know, but they knew about him as far as his existence. You know, that he was going to happen. But they kept this knowledge, right, of which is our heritage, as valuable treasures. You know? Just like you lock your door up if you care about the things in your home, you know what I'm saying? Your home, your sanctuary, like when you leave, that's what you do when you obtain this truth. You know? When you ain't in your head, you ain't going into the word, you lock the door. All right, I'm about to dip. Gotta do this. That stays stored though. You know what I'm saying? You leave the crib, everything's still there. You just gotta go tend to some other things real quick, but you lock the door before you leave, man, to retain all that stuff. That's why the Lord said, since these people didn't like to retain the Yahweh Shemel Shah and their knowledge, he gave them over. If you don't care about the things in your home, you're not gonna lock your door. You ain't gonna care about how you move, who watching you and all. You ain't gonna fucking care. And then you're gonna be subject to what? To having your shit turned over. To losing not only that, the stuff, but everything, including yourself. But I'm trying to find this scripture, man. It basically tell you it might be in Wisdom of Solomon, set bars over their mouth. Bars over their mouth. You know, I don't care, bro. You know, I don't give a fuck. Straight up, you know. If you know, when you tired, shit, time out. Eat as much as it's for you. You know? Hast thou found honey? You stumble into this lie, you eat as much as sufficient for you. You know? Don't bite off more than you could chew. You know? It's that simple. But we supposed to dwell in the heavens, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jake, man, I eat in it. I live in the gym. I sleep in the gym. You know? I can't find it, man. I don't know if you can search that, brother. I can't. I don't got nothing.
Yeah, I'm searching. I don't see anything.
Let me see. I think I can get it. Let me see. I know what it's at. I just ain't read it in a minute. Bars.
Kept up in prison.
Lord will give it to us. You know. So this is what basically I have to set that. I have to. What the hell am I saying?
I think I found it.
What is it?
Letter of Jeremiah.
What is it?
Letter of Jeremiah 1:18.
No. I don't think that's it. No, that can't be it. I don't remember that. You can read it real quick, but I definitely don't believe that's it. I don't believe that's it.
Yeah,
Nope, that ain't it. I got it.
Yeah.
This is Sirach 28. That's the spirit. Sirach 28, and oh man, it's heavy. It says 23. You can go ahead and read it if you there, if you in the Apocrypha. If not, I got it.
Call it again, because I am right here.
Sirach 28 and 23.
Yeah. Sirach chapter 28, verse 23, it says, such as forsake the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, shall fall into it.
See? So the elect won't do that. Come on.
And it shall burn in them.
And you know, Judith and Esther, they elect ladies. You know? Go ahead. They somewhere. You know?
And it's,
hey, even though, because we gonna fall, so they went off. You know what I'm saying? But it's a just man falleth 7 times, but get back up, right? Paraphrasing. But a wicked man falleth into mischief. Meaning what? You don't fall away. You know what I'm saying? Like you not finna, nah, hell no. You know? That's integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like how she got in a situation to even be amongst Holofernes. You know, what was she doing? You know? Obviously it's all ordained, but what was she doing? Could have been a lack of wisdom to where she was able to obtain her, see her. How was Esther spotted? You know how many Jakes it is? You know what I'm saying? Maybe she wasn't low key enough, but ultimately, so that'd be like a fall, if you will. But ultimately, she didn't fall into mischief. You see? When she seen what mug was on, she what? You know? And we could talk about the she's because we're compared, the men, you know, the ultimate, the whole nation, but the men, especially us, we're the Lord's woman, man. You know? And that's a good way to look at it because a woman really has to hold her stuff together to keep her value. She can't just be out here all loose. She really has to be more disciplined, you know, if you will. You see? Because her value, like, literally lies in that. If you get what I'm saying. That's why the Lord compares us to his woman. You know? That's heavy, man. You know? But Slaki, go ahead, brother. Yeah, man. Slaki, man.
Right, 28-23, it says, such as forsake the Lord, shall fall into it.
See? Go ahead.
And it shall burn in them.
Ooh. See?
And not be quenched.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately falling, right? You being a fallen ass Israelite, you're gonna end up in that, you know, in these skyscrapers below. You know? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Burnt on fire, man. We ain't no falling off, ain't no falling in the mischief, ain't none of that, man. You know, we can, you know, we'll fall and get back up, but ain't no falling off, ain't no falling out, you know, for the elect. And we aspire to be of that nature, you know, Lord, to manifest, you know, that to be us, Lord willing. Go ahead.
It says, it shall be sent upon them as a lion.
Yeah.
And devour them as a leopard.
Yep, come on.
Look that thou hedge thy possession about
Ooh.
thorns.
And that's dealing with who? That's dealing with Yahweh Shah ultimately. You know? Because it says that you're going to fall away into fire. But Yahweh Shah said, I am come to set fire on the earth. the roaring of the lion has come out of his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. You know, that's the lion, man. You know, go ahead.
Yeah, kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, look that thou hedge thy possession about with thorns, and bind up thy silver and gold.
Yeah, and that's dealing with what? This truth. That's why the Lord said, hold fast which thou hast. Let no man take thy crown, which is this truth. So he's saying you got the crown already if you got this truth. A crown represents treasures. You open up a treasure chest, it might be a crown there. You see what I'm saying? You see? Read that verse one more time. This is the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In verse 24, it
And
the point possession about with thorns, and bind up thy silver and gold.
And the point of reading this is what? Basically, this is what the Lord named. This is the pedigree, the degree the Lord's these names are to be held to. Not just what they call, but what they stand for as well. Because if you know what the names stand for, key word, know. You not have the knowledge of the ways of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. And you know their names. That's to be held above all. You see? So I said, every knee shall bow and confess. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind.
Mm-hmm. And notice when you bow, somebody's above you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And weigh thy words in a balance.
Yeah. See.
And make.
Yep. Because it says wisdom is known. It says judge no man before you hear him speak, because that's the trial of men. Wisdom is known by the learning tongue is known by words. Basically. You see what I'm saying? Every fruit is known by its tree. So every tree is known by its fruit. So like you got the fruit of the lips. You see, he gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. It says in what's that? Ecclesiastes, what's that? The 10th or 9th chapter, that wisdom is better than weapons of war. You see, but wisdom is known and taught. You see. So your words, man. And that's all what? That's riches. You see? It say wisdom goeth before all. Of her cometh riches. And Solomon said that. So ultimately to have wisdom, right, is to have the names, what they stand for, and that's ultimately treasure. You see that? And you ain't if you know you got treasure, you ain't gonna let nobody steal that. You ain't gonna be all loose with that. You trying to keep that value for what it's worth and flip it. You see? You want to be able to use it. You want to be able to have it to procure good unto yourself. So you have to keep it. So that's why it says these men have the names of the Heavenly Father sealed. When something's sealed, you can't take it away. In their head. That's why I said I don't give a fuck what happened to me, man. And the Lord, hey, you gotta watch what you say, because the Lord he'll test your ass, man. But I know, man, that's how I feel though, That's what I believe, man. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck about nothing else but the truth. I really don't, man. I really don't give a fuck about nothing else, because everything could be going wrong. And I know, and it's just something in me, man. I know that if I stop, like this is still important. Like it ain't nothing over this. Cause I have everything else through this. But you have to watch what you say, because either way the Lord you got your things that's already written on how the Lord gonna test you. But you gotta watch what you say. For those that's listening, man, trust me. Trust me on that. All right? It's about a spirit. Experience. Go ahead. And don't trust the flesh. Trust the experience, the wisdom I'm saying, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, 28, 25. And weigh thy words in a balance.
See?
And make a door and bar for thy mouth.
You see? And that's twofold, because your mouth is the actual mouth on your face, right? And then your other mouth is your ears. You see? So you got to be careful of what come out, which should only be knowledge. You know, and you want to pay attention to it to the degree of balancing it. Do you speak more life or death? You see what I'm saying? You speak more of this truth or bullshit, you know, which is ultimately life or death, you know? And what are you receiving then? And then that denotes the losing or gaining of riches. Also your conversation. What conversations you on? What is your questions usually concerning? That's why Howard Shah said, for where a man's treasure is, there will his heart be also. You see? But that's known, the treasure is known. Oh man, look, Baba Kashar, I gotta grab that. This is Matthew 12 and 34. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mind, the mouth speaketh. You see? Listen, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. And an evil man bringeth out of the evil treasure. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. You see? But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So you have to really be look, that's examining yourself to the degree you like balancing your words. What's the balance? Some got to be less. There got to be something completely dominating and something not. But it's still there. You have to have weak and strong. You know, you have to have a balance. So how much bullshit come out of your mouth? How many holy conversations are you in on? You know? How many times you say the name Yahweh Shemiah Shah? How often do you pray versus other crap? You see? So you want to basically guard that, you know, to make sure. And then then are you talking to fools too much? You know, you can't talk to people in the world too much. Like you might talk to your parents or some shit, or whoever the fuck. You don't. If you do, you keeping in thought. You keeping this treasure sealed up, and you know it's always at the forefront. I gotta keep this treasure protected. What do I mean? Yahweh Shah said, "Cast not thy pearls before swine." Pearls. This truth. So let me try to tell niggas that ain't gonna get it the truth. Cause upon that, you doing that means you a fool and you're losing treasure. If I cast my pearls before swine, I know that I no longer hold them anymore, but they're destroyed. You see? And that can ultimately damage your faith, man. When you partaking with people that don't believe too much. You all low in the spirit because you kind of talk to them, but they don't want to get it. But you really don't want to. What it really is, you don't want to get the Lord. So now your faith getting damaged because you keep trying to make fucking the world believers, which is not gonna be the case. You know, that'll damage your faith. That'll shit'll fuck with you. He said, leave them alone, man. He telling us for good. So you have to guard these treasures in both ways. Now the manifold part, he said, in thy heart, that's mine. Your other mouth, because it said guard your mouth, is your ear. You see? Can people get in your head and take this truth out, like steal the gold? Yeah, give me that. His name ain't Yahweh. Nigga, here you believe in Yahweh Ba Shemiah Shah. He take that same gold and like, that's like somebody, you know, he take that same name and he be like, yo, play yogurt. That's the equivalent of somebody taking some gold you hold, this precious pearl. You letting them see it. Like, here you go. And they throw this shit somewhere. You like, what the? You know? You don't want to do that, man. So this is what, using this scripture to show what this means in Revelation the 14th. Just that, we've been on the first verse for an hour, man. So these chapters is real. Go ahead, bro.
Continue on this?
Yeah, Baba Kasha. I don't know if you finished it.
Yeah, I finished 25.
Okay, read it one more time. Baba Kasha.
Verse 26 might,
You got it. Way by the Spirit. You got it. You can read that same verse.
Chapter 28, verse 25. Yeah. And weigh thy words in a balance.
Right.
And make a door and bar for thy mouth. Mm-hmm. Verse 26 says, beware thou slide not by it, lest thou fall for him that lieth in wait.
See that? You know? Satan walking about like a devouring lion, but the point is what? The point is what? Revelation 14:1. You know? I don't know if you want to say something on that. We trying to get out of here, man, but it's the Spirit, man. You know? I'd rather this than not have done it, you know?
Okay.
Cause we want to go put some shit out, some bullshit, man. We really getting these classes real. They by the Spirit. I don't want to just talk just cause you know. No, I'd rather the Lord was like, just really at the door, like, yo, message, and then drop it off. You see what I'm saying? Like, instead of just out here running your damn mouth, man. Go ahead. And then it don't account for nothing. Cause you really didn't believe when you even spoke. You know, you was just speaking. Like, it's true, but your spirit wasn't really in it. You know, the Spirit wasn't really in it, man. So I'd rather this than not at all, man. Cause it says if this counsel be of men, he said, let them alone. If this counsel be of men, it shall come to naught. But if it be of the Heavenly Father, it's gonna keep going pretty much. Paraphrasing, so these classes clearly set up by Yahweh Shemiah Shah, because even though it's the next day, we still did it. See, it's still here. This not something that was set up of our will necessarily. It's of the will of Yahweh Shemiah Shah, and Lord willing, it count as actual diligent works. Like, no, you was actually disaccounted for something. You wasn't just trying to, be talking or just, doing less. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gotta be real, man. The Lord genuine, bro. He the type to where, and I can say this is why Jake be saying that you gotta develop a relationship with Yahweh Shemiah Shah. I know Yahweh Shemiah Shah. I know the power I serve. You know what I'm saying? I always had an inkling for him, but more now, I'm not saying to a perfection, because the Lord's ways is past finding out, man. His thoughts is not your thoughts. But point being, you got to have that relationship. Hey, this how Yahweh Shemiah Shah get out, man. If you say you love him and you don't mean it, he don't even want the shit. You see what I'm saying? And you gonna know it. He gonna make you feel it. You gonna know it. He don't even want that shit. You gonna know, like, yeah, he don't want that shit. You gonna know. The Lord is a spirit. You can feel it, man. If you ain't, now he deal with everybody different, but ultimately it's the same Father we all dealing with, man. But that's how he get down. He genuine. Go ahead, bro. If you genuine, he genuine. He'll be more genuine than you. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 14 verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. These men really believe wholeheartedly, and nobody could take them out. Nobody could take them out. These are those that stood so stiffly for the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemiah Shah. We're gonna run through the chapter. Go ahead. Verse 2. And I heard a voice from heaven.
And the forehead,
the voice of many waters.
And the forehead right here is spiritual. It just represents the mind. Go ahead. Really, and it was at their forefront, like pretty much going into like the frontal lobe. I forget what the frontal lobe is synonymous for. I'll pull it up really quick, Cause I said, if we're gonna do it, man, it gotta be spiritually unique, man. The frontal lobes are forehead, cause your forehead your frontal lobe is basically your forehead, right? Now it says the frontal lobes are important for voluntary movement, expressive language. You see, and you basically see that name play out through what's in these men frontal lobe, if you will, which is where you see the voluntary movement and expressive language, what they're about, and what they just willfully do, and that's what Yahweh Basham Yahushua would do, or will stand for, and what he will stand for, what he stands for. That's what this is dealing with. So the Yahweh Basham Yahushua is completely in these spirits' minds. It says these men's minds, but it says, and for managing higher level executive functions. Executive functions refer to a collection of cognitive skills, including the capacity to plan, organize, initiate. So these men are appointed. When you go into it, they know how to govern. That's why I said he said their name. He could have said their name was anywhere, but the name would be in the forehead, which the forehead is where the frontal lobe is at. And the frontal lobe deals with what? Executive functions refer to a collective. It says what? Including the capacity to plan, organize, initiate, self-monitor, and control one's responses in order to achieve a goal. So these are the ones that completely organize according to Yahweh Basham Yahushua. They initiate according to the standard of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. They self-monitor according to the standard of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. His name is in their frontal lobe, their foreheads, man. It says, and control one's responses according to Yahweh Basham Yahushua in order to what? Achieve any and all goals, obviously. So these men are perfectly set up to be, they're completely designed to govern the nation of Israel, man. Cause I said I don't want to just throw some bullshit out. Like it's gonna be like, no, that's by the Spirit. That's not. We should want to really please Yahweh Basham Yahushua. And I want to get that word frontal.
Strong's G 3359.
Or forehead, I mean.
Metopon.
Yeah.
Metopon.
It says the space between the eyes, the forehead. It says, see if we can get something. The forehead. Alright, man. Well, it's bugging. Okay, let's see. It say the fronts. It say the temple, right? Let's see. Forehead. I'll go into it more later, but pretty much that's really what this is dealing with. Temple, obviously just the mind. Yeah, it says temple, the flat part of either side of the head between the forehead and the ears. But yeah, we probably go into that a little bit more, But yeah, man. Forehead. I'll do this real quick. Okay, yeah, I put it in. It said forehead, frontal lobe at back of head. It says, it extends, frontal lobe. It says it extends from the area behind the forehead back to the precentral gyrus. Yep. It's also responsible for your memory too, your frontal lobe, and it's emotions, impulse control, problem solving, social interaction, and motor function. Okay. So yeah, it says the frontal lobes are located directly behind the forehead. Just wanted to get it on record, and you can read this at health.qld.gov.au, right? /a bios BIOS, A for the letter A, like Apple, BIOS/ASP/B frontal. Letter B frontal. All right, and it's called Queensland's government. That's spiritual. Queensland's health. Okay. And this you can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. All right. So yeah, that's basically that, man. You got it, brother.
Yeah, Con.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 14:2.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a voice from heaven.
Woo!
As the voice
Oh
of
man.
many waters.
Oh man. Hey, if you go to I wish I could show this. I really can. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this. Bear with me just a moment. You know, the ones that count, man. Okay. You see that? Slovakia. I'm trying. See that? Frontal lobe right behind the forehead. See that? So these men is completely, they built, man. You know? They built for this, man. In every facet. The Lord, that's the Lord know what he's doing, man. You can't make this stuff up. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Con.
Yeah.
Revelation 14:2. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps.
Mm-hmm.
And they sung as it were a new song before the throne,
Mm-hmm.
and before the four beasts and the elders.
Yeah, what's that new song? You know? That new beat there, that new beat of life everybody's supposed to walk to, which is the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shai. As I said, we're just gonna explain these. Go ahead.
And no man could learn that song but the 144,000.
Yeah. No man could actually bring this song out because these 144,000 are prophets. You know, it's like everybody can learn the lyrics and maybe, you know, don't want to contradict myself. Basically, they're the only ones, because really what it's saying is they're the only ones that can bring it out. You know, bring these lyrics out. How do we know that? Because, and what do I mean by really? They're able to really bring it out. They're able to do it well. You see, it's like if a color don't work on you, you don't really make the whatever it is look right. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody else, okay, now it's able to be seen. Is that accounting for what it is. You know, for example, if you go to Ezekiel the 33rd chapter, it talks about how thou art like unto them. I'll get it real quick. You know, this is Ezekiel 33 and 31. It says, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. Yeah, the prophets. It says, for with their mouth they shew much love, but their heart go after covetousness. See, these aren't the people that have the names Yahweh Shemel Shai written in their foreheads, man. You see, it says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. You see, they actually can bring it out. You know, it says, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. And that's also showing you what this song is. It's the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. It says the truth and how it's supposed to be brought out, line upon line, precept upon precept. Anyway, here a little, there a little. It says, and when this cometh to pass, right, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. So these men are prophets. 144,000 prophets. Go ahead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, which were redeemed from the earth.
Yeah.
Verse 4.
Yeah, see?
These.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. You got it.
Yet these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the ways of this world, you know, the false doctrines and stuff like that. All right, idols and shit like that. All right, ultimately, these harlots, like spiritually, for example, they didn't partake with America, the woman. You see what I'm saying? Because if you do, you're gonna be defiled. You see, for example, if you go to what's that? 2 Corinthians is that the 6th chapter or the 12th chapter? It tells you how. Yeah, it's the 6th chapter because he say, don't touch the unclean thing. For example, 2 Corinthians 6 and 16. And what agreement hath the temple of Yahweh Shai with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. You see, Yahweh Shai. As Yahweh Shai has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will, well, I'll say as the Most High has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. Well, Yahweh Shai confirms this in Revelation. He says, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, their power, and they shall be my people. It says what? Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. You see? And who's synonymous with being able to be unclean? Well, really everybody, but a woman. It says, and ye, look, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and my daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. You know? And when you go to Revelation, the 18th chapter, it say, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. You know, a lot of sins is unclean. See that? And it's plural. So when they say these were not defiled with women, you see that? For they are virgins. Meaning what? They kept themselves chaste. These are the men that kept themselves chaste, like Paul said. I'm trying to keep you chaste to present you as a chaste version to Yahweh, for Yahweh Shai, you know, for your bridegroom. Because remember, the marriage about to take place. What's marriage? We already know the answer to that. So you can't marry somebody you already married, which is upon whether or not you have that V or you don't. You know that V card or not. See that? So is that actually physically? No, it's spiritually. See that? So it means what? You just kept yourself put up or put apart, set apart as you've been asked to as a man. These men have done that, you know, for Yahweh Shai. You know, to where they can be put back together with him. You know, they could be married unto Yahweh Shai spiritually. You know, because this could be talking about physically, because the Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. So this is mentally, this is spiritually. Go ahead.
I got a quick scripture.
Go ahead.
Revelation 18:3.
Mm-hmm.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Ooh. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Mm-hmm. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You know, to just bring it out just to show the fact that, you know, the her would be, you know, dealing in the ways of these, you know, places we are in, the lifestyle, you know, so on and so forth. You know, that's why we're being warned to come out of her, as it's, you know, constantly being told throughout the scriptures.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's exactly it. That's how we know. So that's what that means right there. You know, as the brothers just said, you know, further. You got it, bro.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, or the Most High, and to the Lamb.
Read that verse again, Salaki. This dang thing done fell out. Go ahead. This is crazy. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation chapter 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which followed the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth.
Yep.
These were redeemed from among men,
yep,
being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb.
Yep. So there it is. What verse you read for? Yeah, go ahead.
And in their mouth was found no guile,
yeah,
for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
And them being the first fruits mean what? They're the first people, Israelites, the Lord is gonna partake with. He's gonna eat of, because they will have the fruits for the Lord to be able to consume, if you will, and you're gonna see that consumption and him, indulging himself in these people, putting them inside, grabbing them, putting them in the ships, decking them out, changing their bodies, taking them home. It's like the Lord will be eating of them. Why? Because he's able to, because they have brought forth what they need to for the Lord to be able to do these things, you see, which would be like him eating of them, if you will. We can get scripture showing it, but that's ultimately like the understanding of it. But go ahead.
Verse 6.
And that's going to be done through Yahweh Shai. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. So
basically, the first one is taking place now. Once these men are sealed with the hand that was predestinated to have the Heavenly Father's name in their foreheads, all of these things we about to read will go on to play out after. So let's hear what these things are to prove that all of this is taking place right now. And all of it is, verse 1 is the process of verse 1 being able to take place is taking place now. But once that's done, that's when all of these other things will play out, which haven't played out yet, which is what gonna be future things we're about to see, and it's gonna prove it when you read it. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen.
See?
Is fallen.
Yeah. See? So the elect can't be sealed unless Babylon. Once Babylon is fell, these men will have, that's predestinated to have the Heavenly Father's name sealed in their forehead. That's when Babylon will fall. Once that's done, and once they have learned the new song, and brought forth the fruits they need, because men is growing right now. You gotta think, men getting the word planted upon them, men bringing forth fruits for one to consume, for you to be consumable. Go ahead.
It says, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Mm-hmm. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in their forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is poured out without mixture.
Yeah, okay.
Into the cup of his indignation.
Okay, we jumping. I ain't get to explain all that. But point being, in verse 8, Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. That's America. Okay, America has fell out of the power seat, man. They're being rolled down. The government is shutting down. It's being rolled down from the rock spiritually. Then it's going to manifest physically. All right, and it's due to the influence that is spreading. Because you got to think, all the business that takes place in America, whether it's publicized widely, is all ran through the government. So that's even Lil Nas X. Lil Nas, the government, this mountain is responsible for Lil Nas X. because Lil Nas X, he's under a company that has an EIN. You see? And that company is set up upon this government, which is a record label. So if you go into the details like this, you can see why America, this mountain gonna be destroyed, man. You know? And we know it's falling because this company was once passing like actual talented Israelites, you know? Signing actual talented, if you will, Israelites, but now they falling off and giving you niggas like Lil Nas X. So Babylon has failed. Look, Babylon means confusion. Yeah, the place of confusion has failed. And it spread all its things it was passing throughout the earth, which is, pushing forth niggas like Lil Nas X, who's an abomination in the sight of Yahweh Shemiah Shah, right? And making people go off and entertain, go off mentally, really the Israelites, and then the next verse is going into what? The RFID chip, right? But first and foremost, the lifestyle that the push lifestyle that will condone, which is a lifestyle of technology, convenience, right? Which is simply a lifestyle that condones ultimately, becoming technology, which is when you get the RFID chip put in your right hand on your forehead, which is what that mark is, that charagma. Okay, go ahead. And then verse 10, it says, if you partake in that, the Lord is going to pour out wrath on you without mercy. When you got something that's too strong, right? Mercy is when you what? Is when you mix it. You got some alcohol too strong. You're like, man, it's too strong for me. Well, putting that mixture in it will be an agent of mercy for you. The Lord said ain't gonna be no agent for mercy for you. Any agent of mercy. It's like when your eyes burning, an agent for mercy in that moment is water. The Lord will take away all agents that could act out mercy for you. He's gonna take away anything set up that could do that for you. And you're gonna completely feel his wrath if you take if you get into this image, and if you in the image, you're gonna take the chip. If you in the lifestyle. Oh, that's just life, dollar, which is the replacement for the money, by the way. Beautiful scripture, 2 Ezra 16:4, light of Israel, the brother to war, a war. It says, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Lord gonna get niggas moonshine, man. Something stronger than moonshine. All right, so this is what this is dealing with. But it's not an actual drink. It's what? Like the brother put, it's a fire. It's something that's going to, like how liquor burn you though. He had to put it like this because this is what Jake do. Jake drink. People drink. So the Lord said, I'm going to send something that's going to burn, not just burn your chest, it's going to burn your ass. Like, you pour something, that's the liquor coming out of the cup. Basically, when the missiles is coming out the air and down, that's like the Lord pouring a big ass cup. In that cup is his missiles. And that shit, it's gonna explode. And niggas gonna literally be on fire. Damn, And you ain't no Sunny Delight, ain't no cranberry juice, ain't no damn, fire extinguisher, ain't no damn Beyonce to the left, ain't none of that, man. They just play Beyonce when they, that's like a chaser. Goddamn Beyonce, Talking about how I'm such a fool. You got me twisted, all that shit. Hey, this gonna be, the Lord not playing, man. Yeah, ain't no fireball liquor. It's the true fireball. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So you got men that's wholeheartedly with this. You know? That's why we crazy to everybody. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
And this is on continuing on verse 10 in Revelation 14. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shah, the angels gonna come back when they basically come back to save the rest of all of the elect, because all this got to be beamed up simultaneously. While he's doing that, he's gonna stay, and he's gonna ensure what Luke 12 and 49, 48. If we can get that real quick. And we almost done with this chapter. Hey, I'm hot. We getting right back on here after this. You know, get some water. You know, do a little snack, and we gonna assess these times, man. We in. You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. I am come to send fire on earth. And what will I if it be already kindled?
So that's what he here, man. You know, that's why he's coming. That's what he's coming to do. So he's going to ensure that's going to be assured when he comes to once the nukes is shot, which he's going to make sure. Yahweh Shah really controlling the nukes, by the way. You know, just now when he come back, but he controlling everything else. Now, this is gonna be when he gonna bring that fire upon his return, which is when the nukes is shot, to make the fire, to be that to play out that cup, if you will, of the Lord that will be poured out, and he said will basically result in fire, which is when you see the missiles coming down, like somebody poured something on you, right? That's when this will be the case, and simultaneously Yahweh Shah will have to ensure that, right? And they're gonna bring fire from the chariots and as well, but simultaneously they're gonna beam up the elect, and then they're gonna stand while we getting beamed up, getting changed, Lord willing, right? He's gonna stand and watch those that partook in the image and ultimately got that chip, and he gonna watch you burn. He's not gonna come bring fire and not make sure. It's like on the Passover when we got too much lamb left over. You go burn it. You gotta make sure it burn. You don't throw the fire on it and walk away. You know what I'm saying? You stand there and watch it burn, man. And then what's spiritual? That's the sacrifice, because the lamb was the sacrifice, which these people are gonna be. That's why he said, "I have a sacrifice in Bosra." Sacrifices denotes fire. Where there's a sacrifice, there's fire, if you will. You know? Whether it's physically or spiritually. Because this is fire. This is a sacrifice right here. We burning for the Lord right now, man. You see? We burning our time, if you will, our so-called personal time, and you know, my hunger and all this other bullshit, you know. Through this word, because this, you know, by bringing this word out, because the Lord says, "Not my word as a fire." So my time, and though I may be hungry or some shit like that right now, right? That's spiritually being sacrificed unto the Lord. Like, look, Lord, I'm giving up my time for you. That's your time is time. You say time is of the essence. You see, it ain't to be seen. It's we wholeheartedly believe this, man. Yeah, beautiful scripture. Psalms 11 and 6. You know, you got it, bro.
Yeah, kind. Revelation 14 and 11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever.
Yeah. So yeah, you should have read the what's it called one more time, but it's good. But it say. With fire, verse 10, and fire with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb and in the presence of the Lamb. You see, it's like it with in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You know, so they're gonna come when World War III taking off, because they didn't put the spirit on these demons, these damn heathens, to shoot the missiles on America. You know what I'm saying? And That's when Esau drinking of the cup. You know, that cup that was said to be passed, which we know is the same cup because the cup we drunk of consisted of our setup, you know, home, if you will, even though if you will, our setup home being burnt. But I just say if you will because it's not really so-called white man home, you know. But so if he got a drink of the same cup, that's telling you right there that America about to get nuked, man. You know, and that's what the cup is consisting of. You see? So Yahweh Shah will come and sure you niggas drink, man. Including you Jakes that want to fucking join yourself unto them, man. Where you gonna be unto these heathen? You gonna be judged like a heathen. Yahweh Shah already told us he think like that. Matthew the 18th chapter go into that. Or was that the 15th? No, that's it. Matthew the 18th chapter. You know? But go ahead, bro.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 14 and 11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no rest day nor night.
Yeah, America gonna forever be, it's gonna be a memorial for wickedness, you know, perpetually. You know? Like, for example, I was watching this documentary. It wasn't even a documentary, it was like a video. Somebody basically went over and found Sodom and Gomorrah. They say the land literally still on fire. Because, I actually seen it. Because they found the sulfur. That's how they believe it to be. They know it's Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, because the land is covered in sulfur everywhere. And it smokes. So basically it's like still on fire. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord said America gonna be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. So this shit gonna literally be smoking forever and ever, man. The Lord said it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for that city. You know, when we pull up on these Jakes and they don't listen. Most Jake live in America. So the cities they will be in will be here. See that? So America, which is going to be just like Sodom and Gomorrah, which is a memorial or an example for those that should come after that should live ungodly. Of basically what the type of shit you do could, you know, particular things you do results in, you know, gets you this. Everybody gonna know, like, don't do nothing America did, man. You know? Pretty much. You know? How? Because it's gonna be smoking forever. It's gonna always remind people of that, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
So it says, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Mm-hmm. Here is the patience of the saints. Mm-hmm. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, in the faith of Yahweh Shai.
Yep, there it is, man. So this is basically what those that believe on Yahweh Shai will be invested in, waiting on, and meditating upon. You know, go ahead, and believing that's gonna happen. You know, go ahead, and how you know you believe? I believe, therefore have I spoken. You know, and then you gotta have your actions should match also. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and I heard a voice from heaven saying,
because like they say what they say. They say action, talk is cheap, but action speak. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which died in the Lord from henceforth.
Come on.
Yeah, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them.
Yeah, so there it is. These are the people that died in Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You know, and they was in the truth. You know, but they're gonna be remembered. It wouldn't have been in vain, because while they was alive, if you will, they was doing the work. You know, they brought forth fruit. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to transfer what they did, you know. Period. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, And upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle.
Yeah, that's the way Howard Shah, you know. You got it.
And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
Meaning what? The elect is ready to be saved, because the elect is ready to be consumed now, because that's what that cluster is dealing with. All right, go ahead. And we're going to get Daniel 12. We'll close out there. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yeah, and that's not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in Revelation the 14th verse of Salakia. That's dealing with Michael, you know, because it said this man had a golden crown on his head. And when you read Daniel 12 and 1, right, which represent pretty much like obviously you is a king or a prince, right? But we know it's not Yahweh Shah, because Revelation the 19th chapter tells us what? He had many crowns upon his head. You see? Because he's the king of kings. So this man had a golden crown upon his head, holding a sickle. Now, when you read Daniel 12 and 1, it says, and at that time, Michael shall Michael stand up, the great prince, see that? Which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. And Michael, or Ma'aka'Allah in the Hebrew, the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right, as far as what his name would be, is a prince, you know? And where there's a prince, there's a crown, you know, a gold crown. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that is found written in the book. Yeah, and when you read verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Yeah, when Muz get woke up to get hit by those nukes, man, which he's obviously gonna be responsible for. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind of. This is verse 20.
So Salakia about that. Go ahead.
And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress.
Yeah, and that winepress is dealing with these Edomites. You know, that's gonna be stumped out like grapes, treaded like grapes, and the city that's gonna be kept without, as it just said. What verse you in?
Verse 20.
Yeah, that's it. And the winepress was trodden without the city. That's dealing with Israel, the elect. When you go to Isaiah, the 61st chapter, I want to say that is, and I want to say that's the 12th verse. So the Wadi Yahweh Shemiah Shah for the correction. This is Isaiah 62, Salakia. And I'm going to start at verse 11. Behold, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. You see that? So that's what that's talking about. It says, and that's who is talking about, Zion. Behold, as far as the city, right? Behold, his reward in being saved from what? The trodden that's going to take place upon this, which is why there's a wine press, you know, which is going to be through those nukes, you know. It says, and that's heavy, because he said, oh man, that's crazy. You trod them with your foot, Now, what are the angels to Yahushua? His foot soldiers. See that? So upon them, you know, the certain angels that's given the duties to, you know, like the angels that hold the four winds of the earth. Those foot soldiers, man, they're responsible for the you know, the byproduct of the wine press, if you will. You know, when you go into it, because he said he gonna tread them alone, so he gonna use his feet. You know, but when you think about your feet, you know that go in the foot soldiers, man. And you gotta remember too, Yahushua got a body. You know, not trying to be all deep, but he has a body, man. You know, which is a compilation of multiple members. Like John got told by the angel. He said, "I'm your I'm of your brethren. I am of your brethren. Don't worship me. I'm of your brethren." And you know, in effect, he said, "I'm a fellow laborer." The laborers are the body. You know, because that's crazy, because we're gonna be above the angels when we get changed. We're gonna be above the angels. So are we? But when that happens, are we not still gonna be Yahushua's body? We're still gonna be his body. See that? So how is these angels responsible for the wine press that Yahushua is supposed to take place? You know, basically have jurisdiction over. Really, that's the correct word to use. Like he's just been given that. It's been isolated to him. You know, but shit, if I put a hit on you and I'm a boss, I did it. You know. So, what verse I'm in? That's basically how that's playing out, man. You know, Edom is, you know, you're gonna get a lot of grape juice, a lot of wine. You know, or matter of fact, yeah, because you got trodden. It says, verse 19, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into a wine press. Yeah, and gathered the vine of the earth. This was the one of the earth, and cast it into the wine press of the wrath of God. And the wine press was trodden without the city, and blood came out the wine press, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Now, once again, that city that's going to be kept without, to finish that point off, it says, Isaiah 62:11, continue, say to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. That's what that's talking about. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work is before him, and they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua. And thou shalt be called, sought out, a city not forsaken. So there it is, man. So that wine press is all these other people that's going to be trodden down, you know, by that wrath, man. You know, by that wind, that tempest, you know. The shit, you know, which is going to be pretty much orchestrated by Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua via the angels. Top angel being Michael, that prince, you know. So there you go, man. So this is obviously this chapter is a deep chapter, man. You know, but we'll be here all night. So you got anything else, brother?
All
right, so Khan. So yeah, that city without is the elect, you know, of the nation of Israel. That's gonna be kept from, you know, the stumping of these grapes, you know, which is chiefly these Edomites, man. You know, and so Yahushua, he's gonna orchestrate everything, man. You know, he gonna fuck shit up, you know, but The Angels are gonna play their part. Period. That's. Hey, didn't Rico say that? He said, man, what's the point of having soldiers, foot soldiers, if you can't use them, man? That's why I'm Rico, man. That's why I do what I do. Yes, Ace is that shit. Look, Ace the ball, you know. You gotta let your man work, man. You know? Hey, call like how by